will it ever be possible to recognize the truly imminent danger that you people face every single day? You don't listen to warnings, right? You're not very insightful. So I'm always talking to you in what it seems like a scolding tone. I'm always questioning your logic, right? Your rationalizations. You know, when people get upset, you know, sometimes when they don't have the right framing in their mind and they're crazy, obviously, batshit crazy, they may do things. And the collateral damage of what they do may affect you in any given situation. So like, for instance, the woman who decided to toss gasoline into a window, a room in some house, and set it on fire, set it ablaze, and murdered an old 72-year-old man who was pretty much a casualty because he wasn't even the intended target. But these people who have crazy sickness in their minds don't care about anyone. Anyone is a target as far as they're concerned when they're looking at that specific target. All of you can be collateral damage. You know? That's very dangerous. You know? You could be on a city bus, you could be on a train, you could be in traffic and not know who's next to you. And that's why it's a scary prospect going forward in this life. More disturbingly, when I looked at this particular footage, I've realized the callous regard that the bystanders showed for any potential victims. So they stood and watched. And I keep telling you people that a low functioning IQ level will create an atmosphere of fooligans who will stand and observe and will not take any actions to stop a murder. The fire could have exploded some tank or something somewhere, and everyone in the complex could have been killed. But you stood at the scene of the action because you had to get your footage filmed. Maybe this will go on World Star. Maybe this will go on some other social media page. You people are BR. I don't want to live amongst you people. You're savage people. You're conditioned to violence. You're numb to atrocious violence. You see and witness and hear about people in your communities be murdered every day. And you don't do anything to stop it. You won't snitch, quote unquote, on the lawbreakers. But you'll talk shit to the police when they show up about why they weren't there to stop anything. How are they going to do that? How is that logically sound to assume that the police can be omnipresent in every scenario? How do you expect them to know what's going down if you're not going to inform them? So on one hand, you have a group of people who detest the police on great levels. But on the other hand, they expect the police to always come in and save the day, right? And put themselves in harm's way to do their job. So you respect them in the position of them doing their job when it's time to meet your self-serving needs. But in any other case, you're not cooperative or you're not supportive of these people. You guys allow the foolishness in your communities. I witnessed it. You know, I'm not interested in trying to argue tit for tat about, you know, who should have done what. But clearly, you guys didn't do anything. See, how much effort does it take to call authorities? Simply because if the apartment complex is burning down, then it may transfer to your property, and then you may be homeless for the night because your house may burn down. You're watching a blazing fire, not realizing that until the firefighters show up, it's going to get out of control. until it's contained. But once again, low IQ framing, low emotional intelligence, the inability to realize that there could be great potential number of victims, and to not seek to take action. As a matter of fact, prior to the blaze, you guys watched this woman approach the home, watch her bust out windows. No one even went over and stopped her physically. But you can harass and cost people for trivial reasons on a day-to-day basis. You know? So I wonder if there was a guy walking in the street with the Donald Trump supporter shirt on, would you guys have jumped this guy? Would you have confronted him? Meanwhile, you're watching someone's elderly grandparent or father or someone, you're watching that person perish. And then you go on the news and you say, hey, we saw this and we tried to, you didn't do anything. Because I want the family of that victim to look at that footage and tell me what they think about your actions. Your failure to stand up and do something. It's as simple as that. I warn you people because every single day I see myself in my casual observance. I see the low-life people that we need to corral and ship off somewhere. I see these people every day. They come in all shapes and sizes, all packages. And we need to just catalog these people and get rid of them because they don't help us keep or uphold a productive society. Because they're not civilized. I don't feel sorry for low-level people. Not because of my sense of me being better than them or something, but I see in so many cases that they cannot be helped, right? It doesn't serve me to put myself in harm's way dealing with people who are not rational. Clearly, you folks are not rational. I could not believe my eyes. You know, we have a lot of BSCs running around here on this earth who are undiagnosed. Mental health disease is on the rise. You people do not care until you become a victim or until one of your loved ones become victims. Then you're saying this is senseless and this shouldn't have happened and blah, blah, blah. But you support the bullshit. And I'm not going to stop saying that. You double down on the bullshit. Always. When I was listening to the footage, you know, and, you know, I guess at the time, you know, during this emergency crisis or something, it wouldn't really matter a person's vernacular patterns or something like that. That's not even important. But I just happened to observe that and notice that everyone sounded functionally retarded. Okay? And I don't mean that to the true people that we need to help. I'm talking about these low-level people who really is more like a BSC scenario. It's more like a BSC issue. This is something that they never caught in the school system, and you rode the little short buses, and you were class disruptors. You went to school to eat lunch. You know. So I guess you got a high school diploma in, you know, lunchroom tactics or some bullshit. Because a lot of you did bullshit in the lunchroom, and now you do that in your lunchrooms on your jobs on a daily basis. All of the ill behaviors that you never addressed in your childhood keep showing their ugly heads in your adult years, and other people have to be victims because you're not fixed up here. It would have taken merely a moment to go up to this woman and say, what are you doing? What are you doing in my community? What are you trying to destroy? Because like I said, you guys will put more effort into jumping someone or robbing someone or doing some senseless foolishness. It's a reason why when people plan zones, they don't want you in their zone. It's a reason why when new developers come to an area, they have to carefully survey that area and figure out how they can keep out certain communities, because you're not productive to the bigger picture. If we're going to bring money to this area, we don't want people with the money to spend and make this area grow. We don't want those people to be accosted and robbed or assaulted and to not feel safe. And then they won't patronize this area, and then we will lose our investment. Because your people, no one's going to invest on you in you people. You're not worth shit. You know? So the authorities decide to keep you in your little shitholes because that's probably the best place for you. You know? You shouldn't be in higher institutions if you're going to not show that you want to be there. If you're not going to make efforts. You shouldn't live in a decent neighborhood when you contribute to crime in the bullshit neighborhood that you live in. You shouldn't have assistance to take care of all of your bastard children when you yourself are too lazy to make an effort. But you weren't too lazy to create any of those children. Because it takes an effort, believe it or not. It takes some type of effort on the part of the people involved. Too many people in communities put bullshit into everything. They focus on bullshit, and that's about all they can do. You know? When it's time for them to vote, when it's time for them to get something done, you know, change the school system, change the educational curriculum, things that are very important to the life of children, the most important element of our societies. When it comes time to make a change, you guys are ghosts. We can't locate you. You know? And I'm troubled by that. This is not a laughing matter right now today. You know, I just watched this footage and it was sort of, you know, very graphic to watch, you know, honestly. You know, because I knew that a death was involved in this situation, a death came out of this, you know, it was hard to watch. You know, I watch a bunch of people stand by. Now, how is it that I'm watching this footage and my first reaction is to do something, right? It's already transpired, but my first impulse was to do something. Whereas you people sat at the scene before it occurred, watch mental dysfunction take place in front of your faces. You yourselves espoused mental dysfunction amongst each other because I heard the conversations. No one cared about stopping this thing. It was something to see. You are some really, really weird people in this world. I really believe that. And so it's important for you people out there, and I'm serious with this, it's important for you to understand who is around you at all times. And when you want to make a better life and you're living in this shit, you have to figure out a way to get out of it. Because once something happens to your loved ones and they become a victim, no one is really going to feel sorry for you if they figured that you had an opportunity to change something. A lot of this goes back into educating you before the storm, educating you before the bad times come, giving you that proverbial umbrella on a rainy day. And that's what you guys need. A lot of you don't have that. It's scary because the people that could give that to you, they don't have anything in their minds to offer you based on the fact that they were handed the same dysfunctional ideals. You know, everything that's negative in these communities, you guys seem to have a strength in. You know, you have a great deal of irresponsible sex. You do a great deal of fighting, and you promote violence heavily. You know, you drain, you take from the system. You're not productive citizens. You don't vote. You don't contribute anything to the country. You're always the issue in every discussion when there's some action to be taken. That you're always the issue. You yourselves are not a party to your own issues. Other people have to think and congregate and decide your fate. You take no initiative. You know? Psychological dysfunction. Because you were upset at some man for whatever reason. The reason is not worth, trust me, that reason that you got upset is not going to be worth the rest of your life that you spend in fucking prison. You know? It's not going to be worth that. You know? And the guy wasn't even home from what I understand. But you know, we'll find him in a short while shacking up with some other broad, right? We'll find him in that situation. And you'll be forgotten about. So because you had no control of yourselves, or yourself in this particular case, but the people too, yourselves, because the people, instead of them doing something responsible, they chose to take the low road, I guess. I don't know. You people are very stupid, though. I will say that. You are very stupid. So when they withhold funds to rebuild that community or do anything, we understand. The people like me, we understand. We understand that some people just don't deserve the help that they think they deserve. You know? I love bad behavior, folks. What I don't like is watching recklessness and irresponsibility take place before my eyes. And that behavior resulting in a casualty, a loss of life, senselessly. But I'll go back and reflect on this. You're not going to do it. But for those people who are like me, who understand this message, I want you to reflect, because we are the movers and shakers. We're going to be the people who effectively change something. Now, it may take us getting rid of all of these low-life people and doing something with them. It may take that, to some extreme measure of that. But I would recommend that. Join me, people. Join me in getting rid of these scum buckets. We just don't need them around. You guys like, share the videos. Subscribe. But before you do any of that, just think about what types of people you want to be around and how you want to be categorized and thought about. If you're in a company of esteemed people, that's where you want to be. When you're in the company of losers, low-lifes, degenerates, scum buckets, BSCs, BRs, low productive people, assholes, list goes on and on. Know that you'll be judged in the same capacity. Judged by the company you keep. Till we talk again, folks, y'all have a nice day. Take care.